One thing I've been really thinking about in terms of community building is being in community with people who voted against their own interests. And I'm seeing a lot of this pointing and laughing at people who voted for Trump, right? And of course, there's like the deportation jokes. There are the can't wait till you're in the hospital and something happens to your baby and you're going to be left for dead because Allah won't let the doctor save you, and that's what you voted for. Rest assured, I understand that those jokes, threats, are cruel in nature. And there's also the regime that's coming and the ideology that's also behind it. And a lot of people are angry and scared, so I get it. And also, when it comes to trying to be somebody who is humane, where does your line get drawn from trying to seem like a good person or seem like somebody who is actively community minded and actually doing the work? Mind you, again, there's a whole bunch of nuance that I can't get into via a TikTok video, right? Because of the place that I live, there are a lot of people who I interact with who are in my neighborhood who have helped me in various different ways, but I know for a fact voted in a way that's going to bring such lasting damage to me and the people who look like me and the people who are also in my community. Those same people, actually. Let's say, in a simple example, I start a community food bank / garden. A lot of people bring their own produce and canned goods to give out to the community so that people can have food to eat because food has just gotten so expensive, right? In theory, the food should be available to anybody in the community who needs it because people need to eat. Scenario, there are people in the community who voted in a way that expedited the need for this food bank, garden, whatever, right? Do you feed them? And for some people, it's like, yeah, immediately, obviously, yes, there's still people, you're going to feed them like they're hungry. But for a lot of people, honestly, no. There are certain ideologies that are the only way for this world to get better is if people like that passed on. I know sounds extreme, but when you think about the anger that people have and the vitriol when they talk about, I'm going to call ICE to deport you because you voted for that, or wishing pregnancy complications or miscarriages on women who are pro-life. It's in the same pot. And if it's one thing that we can see in our little leftist progressive bubble, whatever, is that the world, the actual outside existence, doesn't look like that. There are a lot of people out there with a whole bunch of different ideologies, but those are the people who you are in community with. I think about people who are like actively doing work, like who are actively helping homeless people, who are actively helping the poor in their neighborhood. They'll say all the time, like, these people have thoughts and ideas and things that go against everything that I am, but I still help them because they need help. And then of course there's the don't let your compassion override your need for survival, or pouring out from your cup when there's nothing left, especially when you're not going to get your cup refilled. But the world is much more nuanced and gray than the internet will allow you to believe. When it comes to genuinely stepping up and living your values, you're really going to have to come to terms with the fact it's not just so simple and easy of just being like, I'm going to support the people around me, when the people around you are going to make you question how seriously do you stand on the things that you stand on? How much do you believe in the things that you say you believe? And how willing are you to let your ego go? You know, turning theory into praxis. Listen, I know this is interaction bait because, you know, it's a blue check on Twitter and like you see how many views that has. People really and genuinely do feel this way. Like the people who will consider themselves liberals and leftists will 100% also be like those dumb hicks in the middle of nowhere who have no education. And if they were all gone, we'd be able to move this country in a more progressive way. It's essentially like that video I saw a while back where the guy was talking about white supremacy, but he was kind of implying that that only exists in these like rural, uneducated parts of the country where they have nothing but racism and football to care about. If the country was just the educated left, we would have so much. Everything would be solved. Your elitism will eat you alive. Just because you live in New England and you went to Johns Hopkins and all of your family votes blue and you love your gay cousins or you are the gay cousin doesn't make you superior to other people. Extremely grateful to let you know. I don't know if it's from one source or not, but I've seen a lot of videos of a reporter going out and speaking to the people in New York who either A, didn't vote, or B, voted for Trump. And then they were giving a lot of their reasons. Some of the reasons were the war in Gaza. A lot of it was economics. People are working several jobs, rent's high, groceries are high, they don't see their bills going down. This current administration is spending too much on war, not just in Gaza, but in Ukraine. They felt like their best choice for change was Trump. And a lot of people were in the comments talking about, oh, they're uninformed. Oh my God. So it was stupidity. Oh, now they're going to get trumped. Now they're going to get this. Now they're going to get that and the third. Okay. Those are the people you need to organize for. Those are the people you need to give a dream for. Organizing and community building isn't just for the people who share your exact same thoughts. Because in the same way that you can say, oh, well, they ate the propaganda, they took the propaganda. That was the message and that was the story that got to them. Those were the narratives that Trump, even if he sucks, is going to be better than whatever this administration is. That's why the Democrats have the critique of leaving the working class. That's why I keep saying elitism is going to eat the party alive. I went on Twitter and I saw like a comparison of like Massachusetts, and I think it was like Mississippi. And obviously Massachusetts is very blue and Mississippi is very red. And they were talking about, oh, well, you can tell the education difference and look how low Mississippi ranks on all these. Yeah, Mississippi doesn't have a lot of infrastructure. Mississippi doesn't have a lot of money. There are a lot of poor and disenfranchised people who live in Mississippi, also live in gerrymandered districts, and who live in this country and who are people, right? Like, I don't know how to explain why caring about people, when you actually care about people, means you can't just throw them away and just be like, well, they're stupid and that's just why they're never gonna get it. Cold hard reality is that if you want to change this country, if you want to make it better for people, you actually have to care about the people. You have to reach those people. You can't actually just write them off as poor, uneducated, rural people who don't know any better. That's actually what Republicans anticipate, and we know that they do not have those people's best interests at heart. If the main narrative that is getting to the people are the ones that can feed Republican pockets, what do you think is going to happen? It's not easy work, but it is necessary work, and I genuinely think people need to recognize the elitism that lives in them. See how that may be countering your ambition for a better world.